Today we will have a look at the Pipistrel Taurus Electro. This is the best electro glider in the world. Let's see if that's true. I will test it today together with Igor. So this here is the Taurus. It only has a wingspan of 15 meters. Of course, it also has flaps here. And the super interesting thing is that you are sitting here side by side. Not like a normal glider with a tandem configuration. You're really sitting here next to each other. Yeah, it looks like a glider cockpit here with the LX navigation computer, all the other avionics. And then later on we will have a closer look at this instrument here, at the engine control unit. Yeah, and you have a long canopy here in the front. Your legs are heated by the sun, so that's super cool. And yeah, that's something I never saw on an electric glider, to have really like this plug like on an EV, on an electric vehicle car, and a huge propeller. This motor here looks familiar to me. I think that's probably the same MRAX motor as I have in my AS33ME. The installation here looks super simple. There's a cable for safety installed as well. And yeah, the battery, one battery is here. One battery has 6.7 kilowatt hours of storage and it weighs 38 kilograms. And one battery is installed here. The other battery is installed here in the luggage compartment. What's also interesting to see is they have water cooling here. That's the radiator. There's a small fan installed. And then on the side, this one here is the RC controller, the speed controller. But this one looks like that's only air cooled. Overall, it looks like a very nice manufacturing quality. No extra glue anymore here on the side and so on. Yeah, it just looks really well made. One thing which is special here with the Taurus Electro is that this one is not certified as a glider like the AS33 or so. That's an ultralight. So you need an ultralight license to fly that, and also the regulations are super different from country to country. So for example, in Germany, you could fly this glider with a maximum takeoff weight of 550 kilograms because the German license allows that up to 600 kilograms. But like here in France, you would only be allowed to have a lower maximum takeoff weight and so on. So that's a bit of a problematic thing, but also it's easier, for example, to maintain such a glider. You can do more on your own and so on. Overall, when you see here the tail, so on, of course, it doesn't look like a high-performance glider. It's quite a thick horizontal stabilizer. Of course, also the GoPro mount and so on, that's not perfect for the aerodynamics, but that's not the purpose of this glider. It's to fly easily, to have here the side-by-side cockpit, and the glide ratio, at least on the webpage of Pipistrel, is 41:1. So glide ratio, maybe let's compare that with the LS4 or something, but probably at a higher speed with the big fuselage. That's also not really comparable, but we will see that. I will test it and I will let you know. Of course, with an ultralight, you also have a parachute, which you can use. So the whole glider is on a parachute. If you pull here, then a rocket will go out and the whole glider is on a parachute, like the Cirrus airplane, for example. The landing gear here is, of course, also retractable, but the super special thing is that there are two main wheels, so the glider is really standing like that, and you don't need to drop the wing on the start and lift it off the runway and so on. You can taxi easily. I'm not completely sure if that's a steerable tail wheel. Yeah, that's a steerable tail wheel. So that's really perfect just to maneuver on the airfield without any additional help. Then let's get to the charging, because that's super interesting here. Especially Igor has a great setup, but I'm also not 100% happy how Pipistrel is doing that. So First of all, this huge Pipistrel charger, that's the main charger. It's really a huge system, but with that you can charge the Taurus in just 1 hour from 30% up to 100%. So that's really amazing because it outputs, I think, about 10 or 11 kilowatts, which is really fantastic. On the other hand, there's this portable, smaller solution available. I am not sure how much output it can produce, but probably much less, maybe like 3 point something kilowatts. But this one is still super big and heavy, and I don't think that you can fit that in the glider, in the luggage compartment. Let's have a look over there. Yeah, of course, it's a tandem configuration, so you don't have space to put like the charger here in the front or somewhere. Here, I don't know exactly how that opens up, but that's somehow here the luggage compartment. And here you see that's the second battery. And yeah, over there you can't put the charger. So you have a small portable charger, or quite small portable charger, but you're not able to fit it in here. For me, such a glider is the best thing to make travel by glider trips, to fly to a different airfield. And even here with the energy, the battery capacity and so on, you get a bit more range than probably with the AS33. So here it has an overall capacity of a bit more than 13 kilowatt hours of electric power, which is really great. And Igor told me, he says he thinks it's about 2,700, 2,800 meters to climb. The cool thing with a glider like that, you can just go here with friends and fly from A to B. You're more independent. You don't have the, or you have the main gear here, and the glider's not, and the wing is not dropping and so on. So it's much more flexible, and you could do some super cool scenic flights, also like just go to the seaside somewhere. But if you can't charge your glider, then of course it's a big, big problem. But to be honest, I'm not completely sure if that's more like a standardized system here, this connector. So maybe you can even charge that just with a normal car EV charger. And then of course that makes it super interesting. But I will ask Igor about that if that's possible.
It's the only typical connector.
Yeah.
The control is from charger.
Okay, so I can't use a standard cable from electric car.
You cable, yes, but not
The charger.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't fly to a different airfield and charge your glider without your charger. And then let's get to this other super cool charging solution over there. This setup here is really amazing. He has on the top 2 rows of solar panels, then here on the side, and then even here on the ground. Of course, this setup is more for, let's say, a stationary use case. He doesn't travel as much as I do, but he can also put off these solar panels on the side and drive with a trailer to a different airfield and has a mobile charging solution. In here, it looks super cool. A lot of Victron equipment. It can output up to 10 kilowatts, which is really amazing. He has here different MPPT chargers for different rows of panels. So on the top, then on the side, and then here on the floor as well. Yeah, then of course, here on the floor, you even see some power banks, some batteries. He said these batteries are installed there. I never saw them before, but probably that's more for the use in the house. Yeah, on the top, I shouldn't show too much. It's not completed yet, the wiring, the cabling, and so on. He drilled holes in here everywhere to get the wires in. Of course, I think it's not the best trailer to have like the aluminum trailer and to do all the holes, because it's difficult to close them up if you don't want to have these charger systems installed anymore. And one super cool thing, Igor also owns an electric car, so he also charges the electric car out of that. So really a super sustainable, cool solution, and everything here on the glider. With a system like that, you can really say flying a glider is a super green sport. You can get in the air just with renewable energy here with the solar power. You're completely independent if there is no power at the airfield and so on. You just don't care and you just fly.
Salvătel gibt es decolaj peste nord.
So this display here, there's a problem that I can't see the colors from the side. The green and so on, you only see it from the middle really well. I don't have polarized glass, not the best display, but it really flies super nice. And you have here so much space here for your feet. And we are climbing here with flat position 0, the takeoff.
I never use landing.
Okay, that's like every glider. I also don't like the landing position because you're just too slow and not have too many of options. But and for thermaling, then you use this or +5. Okay, so for thermaling also +5, and then for faster flying probably the negative one here. Yeah. And that's the air brake lever, which also looks interesting, completely different. So now we are flying here with about 20 to 23 kilowatts. And we have 13 minutes remaining, 12 minutes remaining. Not the best day for gliding, especially more to the north side. We have northerly wind, and here cloud base is low. It's not the best thermal to start with a Taurus to try to fly.
Okay, but for safety I use the motor. It's easy and it's the reason why I flew with Taurus. 10 seconds and you have energy.
finally the first better thermal today. We struggled hard, we used a lot of battery capacity to make a scenic flight, but we didn't expect not to find a thermal. But yeah, we made it, and the glider flies really well. The steering is, here on the stick at least, it's quite easy. The rudder pedals are good. I have a bit of an issue, of course, with the not centered position of the seat, so that takes a bit more practice. But the good thing is here, this sticker in the middle, so you understand where is the center of the yaw string. And yeah, the flap lever here, it's a bit like a handbrake in a car. That's a bit strange. And also the force to get into another position, you need some force. It's not like in a maybe J3 or so where it's like nearly zero force, but you get used to it, it works. Seating position is also great. I really like it. You can adjust the pedals to the length you are, and I think it is really for tall people as well. There's not a big limit in the front. It's super spacious. Here on the side also we don't touch each other. That's also great. Yeah, the noise level of the ventilation and so on, it's okay. It's efficient here in the front, and even you can see to the outside, so that's cool. Here on the side, if you open these canopy fans there, of course that's not the most silent option, but it's an option. And then here we have this small one, which is working only this tiny bit. It's not really not a lot. Yeah. So overall, it's a great glider. To the performance, I can't say too much up to now because we really didn't fly a lot. Straight flight. We just had a lot to deal with the wind today, turbulences, lee effects and so on, but it doesn't make the feeling that yeah, it is super lightweight. So it's ultralight, and of course it's less heavy and so on than, let's say, an Arcus or so. Of course the turbulences, then you also get more turbulences. The glider is doing more maneuvers, but it doesn't feel like it's an unsafe thing, and it's not like, say, a paraglider or something super ultralight. It's still a glider. The thing is, I can't fly this glider with my license, because I would need an ultralight license. And that's a funny thing, because it feels like it's a glider, but I can't fly it with my license. I'm not completely sure how slow you can fly here, Igor. Is the speed, or you fly?
Yeah,
how would you fly?
80, it's correct, and if you have 80, it's like and after we have minimum and it's
okay, but you get
very easy
out of it, and
we climb. Yeah, it's already yeah. Comfortable speed for thermaling is 190.
Yeah, okay, so what I did was
80 not.
Yeah,
It's in 80 you have sometimes
but it's good to get that feedback from the glider that you should not do that, and that's also what I felt already. That's why I didn't want to fly below 90, especially if I'm a bit steeper in the thermal.
But glider is very safe, and I never have problems with low speed.
And worst case, you have here the parachute.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not good for the glider, but
good for life.
good for life. And what's also very convenient is that we don't need to have a parachute on here, which is a bit more comfortable and easier to get in here and so on. The funny thing is, you don't have here the normal belts like in a glider, because it's an ultralight, so you don't need to have certified things. That's only a car belt. Of course, that's much cheaper, and also works. That was cool. Thank you so much, Igor. It was really a great
You're
flight.
welcome.
Thank you. And if you want to see more, you also have a YouTube channel. Check that out as well. And then see you soon. Cheers, guys.
See you.
Check the brakes. Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Charge.